spreading that stuff like it's the end of the world, you know. But yeah, just catching up on my upgrades as well, getting this final Hydra screw spines. Yeah, there is finally my third queen. I'm not using it. Should have better queen macro. But yeah, I usually like to put the evolution chamber right here because it makes more of a choke point here. Usually what I like to do is actually put 2 evolution chambers and put some spine crawlers in the back. So when his army hits this place, the spine crawlers will be poking for the back, and their army will just be focusing on these evolution chambers, or at least their melee units. Finally pumping out some overseers. I just thought to myself, what if this guy comes out with banshees? So I just pump out some overseers as quickly as I can, and yeah, just a note, you should always get overseers as soon as possible. They're really useful units. And yeah, I think it's about here where I choose to grab this expansion. Oh, but here is the first engagement, taking out my creep tumors. And this is a pretty tough engagement. Look at all those medevacs he has. Look at this. All the Banelings just go kaplash on those Marines. His Marines totally get wiped out. Now it's just pretty much my Roaches and Hydras against all those units. Those medevacs just healing like crazy. That's why he's doing so much damage. But my queen, I should have macroed her better. At least use transfuse. But yeah, I do end up winning this battle, and he should have taken better care of these medevacs. I managed to kill 1 or 2 of them. Yeah. Well, most of my army got wiped out, but the beautiful thing about Zerg is that their army just comes back so fast, and it's just great. That's what I love about Zerg. They can just reproduce so fast, whereas in Terran and Protoss, well, Protoss not so much because they have warp gates, but Terran, they just got these barracks, and you can only build 1 unit at a time. Blah, Terran. Even though I used to play Terran. In fact, for those of you who are wondering, I switched to Zerg because I found it more of a challenge. And with Terran, I found myself using the same build all the time. With Zerg, not so much. I found I could be more creative with Zerg. So that's why I like Zerg more. And yeah. Should be upgrading more, since look at all this money I have, I'm not even using it. But yeah. Finally grabbing the gold, the gold expansion. And planting down these creep tumors. And you gotta be careful with these creep tumors because you gotta make sure that there's the opponent's army isn't around, because this happened to me very many times. Whoa, geez, I'm very rusty. But where the opponent's army is located somewhere around here, and my creep tumors are right here, and he suddenly by chance decides to move out. These creep tumors just get completely annihilated because the ones that are like fresh, I guess you could call them, are still visible, and these ones too. So that's no good. My opponent finally decided to move out and create an expansion. Thank God he actually made one, because yeah, moving out once more. My army clearly bigger than his, and yeah. See, this is another thing I like about Zerg. You can just get so many different units at once, and they all work perfect with each other. And yeah, I love Zerg because of that. Okay, so he finally spotted. Oh, never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he can't see these fresh creep tumors. Oh, because I'm not playing StarCraft 2 enough. But disregard that. But yeah, I guess they can only see the ones that are being created. Oh, doing some little boxer play here, loading up his army in the dropships. Oh, see, this is what's very effective about Terran, because Terran, most of their units, if not all of them, I'm pretty sure all of their units are ranged units, so they can very easily take advantage of cliffs and vantage points like this. You can just put their armies up here, especially siege tanks. Siege tanks are very effective on these cliffs and just rain hell upon your army, and it's just pretty annoying. But there's ways to get around with it. It was continuing. Okay, so I retreat, which is obviously the best thing to do in this kind of type of scenario. I mean, yeah. I mean, I might have been able to take him out, but I just don't think I had enough Hydras. And I see that he's still trying to do some fishing around here, so I back off. And I finally see that he's going for this flank, and I just laugh to myself because I'm like, oh man, you're in for now. I definitely know what you're trying to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm sending my army back around, trying to bring it back around. Oh, there we go. Trying to bring it back around as fast as possible. And luckily they come there just in time. Micro my drones out of there. And yeah. And look at this fungal growth. Fungal growth. The wonders of fungal growth, huh? Those units just can't move. They're stuck. And that's partly why he lost all of them. And that backdoor was pretty much... You shouldn't have gone for that backdoor in general. I mean, maybe the smarter thing to do in that position was to just stay and tech up, maybe get some nukes, because he clearly knew that I had the larger army. So I don't know what told him to go after my army or even go for a backdoor. But maybe, I don't know, some players fall for that. So maybe he thought I was just one of those players. This queen with 200 energy, I should really take better micro of my queens. Just, I should really use them more. Well, I do use them a lot, but I don't pay attention to their energy, so that's not good. Getting this Ultraless Cavern up, this is probably the first time I've actually used Ultras in a Zerg game, and I'm pretty proud to say that. Getting the armor. And Ultras are like really, really good. I'm actually really glad because they're really powerful for the Zerg arsenal. They're really good for top tier units. I'm really satisfied with them. I have no complaints. But moving on, continuing to spread this creep. This creep is almost across the whole map. It's almost near its expansion, which is just hilarious. But it's mainly because of the speed which it spreads, because adjacent creep makes it spread faster, from what I've learned at least. But yeah, anyways, macroing up my whole army, getting 3 ultras. These guys are just badasses. Banelings, banelings, banelings. Can never go wrong with these banelings. Yeah, continuing to mobilize my army. He's mobilizing his army. Tried to macro up as many units as he could. Look at all this money he has. Like, seriously. You have to build... Oh, frame rate issues. You have to build more production facilities. You have to build more barracks, more factories, more starports, more expansions. You have to tech up. You can't just beat other players with this tier 2, tier 1 units. You gotta tech up to Thors. You need siege tanks at least. Siege tanks, some air, maybe some Vikings. This was his issue. If he teched up a little bit more, maybe he could have stood a chance. But let's see what goes on. Okay. And he finally realizes that my creep here is going out of control. Tried to sneak in a changeling there, but he noticed it. Took it out. My failed attempt at the bailing, at the changeling. But yeah, continuing to mobilize. I'm now headed towards his direction, and here is where things become hectic. Here is what I want to point out right here. Okay, so I'm about to move out. His army is right here, a place where you don't want to put your army. You want your army to be right here where it's near this command center. Normally a Terran will put a, well, not normally, sometimes they will put a planetary fortress to give them backup. So they would keep their army around here. This is kind of an odd place to put your army, especially since the creep is all the way over here. So my units can still be on the creep and attack his units. Then he's continuing. You see how I got all my banelings on one side and the rest of my melee and range units on the other side. You'll see what I'm about to do with this. Look at that. That devastation. And that's all because I did that flank. I knew that he had the Marines. Well, he didn't really have the Marines in the back, but I knew that it would cause a massive amount of damage if I flanked on one side and attacked from the other. And it's a win-win situation, because if he tries to dodge these banelings, my melee army will just come up in there and just eradicate everything. And if he tried to dodge his army, my banelings would come out in there and just destroy everything. But yeah, I think I just screwed up on the saying over there, but whatever. And after that, he just left the game. But yeah, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, okay, I remembered. Basically, something very important when you're playing around with banelings and when you're about to attack with them, especially, what you want to do is click on your banelings and move command them. don't attack command them. What you want to do is move command them towards your opponent's units, so when your opponent attacks them, they explode. When you attack command them, a lot more of them explode than they need to. Okay, so this is basically wasting your banelings. But when you move command, they only die when they get killed, and this just pretty much takes out everything that's adjacent to them. But yeah, just make sure you move command your banelings, because it's a lot more efficient. And yeah, basically the moral of this game that I wanted to tell to Zerg players and to Terran players, or maybe just to any StarCraft player in general, that if you have extra resources, use it. Use it to tech up, use it to macro up, use it to make production facilities, get expansions, do whatever you can, as long as you keep your money low. Poverty is really good in StarCraft 2, so just remember that. And yep, thanks for watching this video, and I might have extras after this. Yep, take it easy, guys. Yes, I also wanted to ask, what do you guys think about my mic quality in my videos? Do you think that there's too much static? Is it really annoying, or is it bearable? Because I'm thinking about switching my mic, but I'm not sure. If it's bearable, then maybe I might leave it, because I'm low on money right now. But again, I don't wanna annoy you guys. I don't want to like detract you from my videos or anything. So if it's really bad, then just let me know, because I really want to know about that. I've been trying to play around with my mic settings to get it as best as possible, and I think this is probably the best it gets. So if you guys are uncomfortable with it, then please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys.